Welcome back everyone, this is GTA Failer. In the last video we collected all 33 packages over in Portland Island and we find ourselves now right where we left off in Staunton Island because the last package we got was only available via the subway and we had to get it from Staunton and then take that long trip along the subway tracks and then back to Staunton along the subway track. So we're going to do all 20 unique stunt jumps in this video, and we got to get back to Portland if we're going to start over there. So let's just hop in a brand new boat for us, the Predator, and we're going to take this thing all the way over to the Portland dock and then begin our stunt jumping. So credit where credit is due. The particular order in which I do these 20 stunt jumps is due to a video that I watched on YouTube from a Bulgarian gamer called Bad Infos, Badinfos, Bad Infos, no spaces. Go check his stuff out if you want to. He's got some really good videos on the GTA games, and in particular, a really nice series about the differences between the original GTA games and the definitive edition of GTA games. Okay, so here's some stuff from the wiki. There are 20 jumps located around Liberty City. Each completed stunt jump earns the player a reward of $5,000 multiplied by the number of jumps completed. So for example, the first jump is worth 5,000 bucks, the second jump 10,000, the third jump 15,000, the fourth jump 20,000. Additional insane stunt bonus payments can also be earned as the player completes each unique jump. Okay, so we just had a little bit of a cut there. So I showed you me getting over from Staunton to here on Portland, and now I'm going to show you a bunch of fails. So I went to pick up the Banshee, this vehicle right here. It's the only sports car on Portland Island, and we're going to fail with this Banshee many times on the different Portland jumps. So here's another fail. Last thing from the wiki, completing all 20 jumps is required for 100% completion. Okay, so how did I decide I was going to try to plus this 20 unique stunt jumps task? Well, I figured, what if I try to do all 20 of these jumps in the same single vehicle? So right there, I got credit for the jump, but I flipped my Banshee and I said, well, let me just start over. And so what I did is I just kept starting over on Portland Island here, and again I'm going to get credit for this unique jump, but my Banshee is toast, so start over. I quickly realized that really trying to do all 20 of these jumps in a single vehicle was probably not possible because the vehicle gets damaged on each attempt, and 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 so I just don't even think that the vehicle, any of the vehicles, has enough health to survive the damage of even 20 successful unique jumps, let alone these flips, that I'm doing here. This is one of the hardest jumps for me. I think I got credit for this one, but then immediately flip over, and so we start over. You're going to be seeing this jump a lot. This jump right here is one of two that I really struggle with on Portland Island. This one, and then the one going over the Callahan Bridge. I just oftentimes don't have enough height, so you got to clear this first building, and you can see that I'm well short there. So no credit for the jump, and I destroyed my poor Banshee. And get used to seeing this sad upside down Banshee. All right, so at some point I'm gonna pass this thing. Oh, this is the very first jump. There's no reason to fail this one. I actually like this jump quite a bit because it's the first thing that I do that gets me credit when I do a speed run of this game. But in this case, I got credit for the jump and then got credit for rolling my Banshee on the very first jump. That was the $5,000 bonus. Okay, so as we keep flipping these Banshees, I'll tell you that the 20 jumps are distributed thusly. We've got 8 jumps on the first island right here on Portland, 4 on the middle island, and then 8 jumps again on the last island. So here, didn't get credit for the jump and flipped over my poor Banshee. And here we are. Hopefully this jump is starting to look familiar. I think I need to head off the right-hand corner, kind of on the right-hand half of this ramp. I don't understand the physics of it because I can do a jump that I think is perfect and not even come close to having enough distance. This one, I don't know what happened there. Just accidentally drove in the water. So we start over. Yeah, so this one I think I just need to head off the right-hand half of that ramp for whatever reason. I don't think it's physics. I think it's a programming thing. So that looks like it's got the distance. So I think I'll get the jump, but then I flip my Banshee. So like it's not this hard. It's not that hard. Like you just go get another car, get another Banshee. But again, we're deciding to plus everything that we can here. So this one, I'm fast forwarding. I don't know what's happening here. Why did I show this? Oh, is it possible we succeeded here? I don't know. Like at some point we succeeded, right? Or we just gave up on our dreams and settled for something less. Okay, so this is again the first jump. We'll make this U-turn to the right. Let's see what happens. All right, so we're in regular speed here. Maybe we succeed. Maybe this is the one. All right, so we're going to rate each of these unique stunt jumps based on the view, and also penalty or I subtract in terms of the rating here. Subtract points if the jump is too difficult to complete routinely, and also subtract points if it's too difficult. If it's dangerous, like if you end up like dying or flipping or whatever. All right, so that first one is reasonable. It's right on the water between the two islands, and that I like that jump because it's the very first jump in the game. We're gonna give that first one a 9. This one here, not very difficult, not dangerous, but ugly because it's just here at the docks with all concrete around. So sadly, this one only gets a 3. Okay, and now we're heading over to my nemesis jump here, but apparently because we're watching this in regular speed, this is going to work. Spoilers. So this jump right here, again, lots of concrete, plus I find it really difficult, and even when I succeed, I can often flip my Banshee. This is a 1. Sorry to say. Yeah, nothing good about this jump. It just seems random, like whether or not you have enough height to complete the jump. And in this case, it's like a coin flip whether or not I'd be able to save my Banshee from rolling there. Okay, so while I drive to the next one, let me read something else from the wiki here. It says there is a total of $1,050,000 available to be earned if you do all 20 of these jumps. I don't think that's correct, actually. So this jump right here, nothing special. I don't think it's very difficult, although occasionally I've ended up a little bit short. I don't understand why I end up short. I feel like I do this the same every time. It's over the water, which is kind of exciting, but again, lots of concrete around. We'll say 5 on that one. Okay, so here's what I think the money amount is. It said 1,050,000 in total. I think it's actually 1,950,000 in total. Okay, this one right here, very straightforward. You could even do this one in a police car, although somehow I failed it. You got to clear this building, and I don't know why. I rarely fail this jump, but we'll try it again. So there's a little bit of grass around. At one point, I was trying to squeeze this unique jump in during the mission called Fuzzball, and then I just decided I needed to stop doing that because all too often I would kill one of the. There was a prostitute on the street, like right near where I would land, and I killed her so many times and failed the mission that I decided I needed to stop doing that. Okay, so we'll give that one a 5. It's okay. Nothing too bad, nothing too good on that one. All right, so this is one of my other nemesis here, this unique jump. We'll make a U-turn, and you'll see me try to line up the right hand, the passenger side wheels of my car with the grate, like the right-hand side of the grate. I essentially want to be going parallel to this grate right here, and sometimes it takes me a long time to set this up. We just went for it here. With just a couple of tweaks and then just pray that it works because again this one seems random, like sometimes my vehicle will start doing like a helicopter spin. If you hit either of the sides of the bridge then you fail the jump, but this one went okay. Like it's a nice idea, the jump, but I find it way too difficult, way too prone to failure, so that one gets a 3. Okay, this one we just have to hit this ramp somewhere in the middle and again avoid hitting the two sides of the bridge. Pretty straightforward. It's got some grass, but a little too much concrete. There's a girder here in the middle. 5? Give it a 5. Okay, so the reason that I think that the money is wrong is that the very last jump, so the 19th jump, you get $95,000, and you'll see that on my screen when I do the 19th jump. For the 20th jump, you're supposed to get $100,000, but the game gives you $1 million, which is a pretty sweet reward. So that formula, 5,000 times the level that you're on is true for the first 19 levels, but then you get $1 million instead of 100 grand on the last one. Okay, this one right here, it's all, concrete stuff, but I do give it bonus points for the fact that you land on top of the L train tracks. That's pretty cool. So we'll give that one a 7. Not too bad. Okay, so then that is all for Portland. That was all 8 on Portland. And now, because I have this dream, flawed as it may be, to try to do all 20 jumps in this one particular Banshee, I said, well, like there's no chance the Banshee survives 20 jumps without getting paint sprayed. So, sure, it makes it, a lot easier. I'm starting with a fresh Banshee, but it's the same Banshee I have been in since the beginning of this successful attempt here. So, I'm doing what I can. As usual, the only way I know of to get I saved here just in case things didn't go well, but I'm not going to reload that save. So the only way I know to get a vehicle from Portland over to Staunton is to use the Chitty Chitty BB flying cars cheat. I've stopped using the corners like mad cheat to give good handling. I don't think it's important. I don't think it matters. Okay, so now we're over here with our original Banshee, and the first few jumps here are pretty straightforward. So the first one is just south of Asuka's. The tricky thing about this one is that the landing ramp is really short. So I stop my vehicle specifically like on the downhill part of this ramp and then take the shortest little run up I can to the dirt ramp that we just hit, and then jam on the brakes real hard. So many times I get credit for that jump, and then my vehicle flips right over that southern small wall there, and I end up in the drink. Okay, so again, I like that it goes over water. It's dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Like you think you got to have a huge run up for all these things, but it's got a nice view, and I actually kind of like the dangerous vibe of that one with the shortest runway, the shortest ending like landing zone of all of them. So we'll give that one an 8. Okay, so this one on top of the parking structure, the parking lot. Um, Again, lots of concrete. I know I keep repeating the same thing. I just like nature stuff more than concrete stuff. This one I find to be inconsistent. Like sometimes I do it as well as or at least like I implement the strategy I have for hitting that ramp a little bit left of center and kind of parallel to the ramp. And I fail, and other times I don't hit it the way I want and I pass. So I don't know. I got a docket for the inconsistency. Instead of a 5, we'll give that one a 4. Okay, so here we come up onto this structure, and then there's going to be a cut. Just because I sat here for like a minute because it was quite foggy, and just for the purposes of this video, I wanted my jumps to not be in fog. So this one is pretty cool. Like there's this grassy ramp built in between the divided highway. Sometimes you hit that billboard on the side there. Sometimes I flip my car here, just like that. But I like this one. I just like the placement, like the fact that it's between that divided highway. So we're going to give that one a 9. That's a nice one. Okay, so now we're fast forwarding. I had to decide, was I going to, and this is a jump up these stairs, and it's like one of the hardest ones out of all 20 for me. It's supposed to be trivial, but I just can't, I can't not hit the barrier, like the walls, the handrail on each side of the stairs. It's crazy. Um, what were we saying? We're saying how this one's supposed to be easy, but it's hard. Oh, this regular speed, nailed it. Nailed it. Okay, so that previous one was a 9, and I hate this one. I'm giving this one a 1. Again, it's supposed to be easy, but I do not find it easy. And now I think that's it for this island. So time to head over to the other island. So all the way north of the tunnel. You've seen this before, so we're fast forwarding. Yeah, so I had to decide when I lost my Banshee, like it flipped over after that ramp between the parts of the divided highway. I had to decide, hey, am I just going to start over and try to do all 20 of these things in really literally the single Banshee, even though I pay and spray it? And I decided that no, I wasn't going to do that. It just took me a long time to do. And so then I relaxed my constraint. I said, okay, Let's just make it so that we do like all the Portland jumps, all 8 of them in one Banshee. And then I just gave up on Staunton because I did the first 3 in the Banshee and then the last one in, I forget which vehicle I had, a Stinger maybe. Um, and then I said, okay, I'm just going to use one vehicle on the third island. So this third island, I got 8 jumps to do. My goal is to do them all in one vehicle. And I did a jump cut here because I'm on the airport and I discovered that I don't think I have enough speed to clear this hangar and just almost lost the Banshee. But I failed this jump, like 3 times in a row here. I guess I'm showing them just for lack of speed. I think I went all the way like as far back. Again, no hitbox for the moving airplanes, but the parked ones all have hit detection. So I think I've got as much of a run up as I can have in the Banshee. And even though in my mind, like all the sports vehicles are the same, they're not. And so we're actually going to do the rest of this video in an Infernus, which apparently has a higher top speed than the Banshee because the Infernus is going to clear this hangar every time without a problem, and the Banshee just doesn't have enough top speed. So I'm glad that I gave up my hope of doing all 20 jumps in the Banshee that we got inside of that gas station in Portland because it just wouldn't have worked. I don't think it's possible to do this jump in the Banshee. Okay, so sorry for all the jump cuts here, but this is now me starting for real the previous save state here on the third island. And I think I'm going to make another save here just because this is where I'm going to start all of my attempts with this fixed Banshee in the airport parking lot. So attempt number 1, and again, we're just going to show you the fails first, and then we'll show you the successful attempt. So the Infernus, higher top speed, but also I think lower health. Like it catches fire. It's named Infernus, like an Inferno. Whoops, that's my bad, you guys. So we'll reload the save state and grab a fresh Infernus. So here I've already completed several jumps, but this is going to be a failed jump. That's what I'm showing you here in these low light clips. Low lights instead of highlights. So this jump, I don't know how to make it so that like I land on my wheels. Like I consistently land on my roof, and then if I get a lucky roll, then the car will flip back over and end up on its wheels. Here it did flip back over, but I had taken so much damage to the Infernus in the airport jumps, which I haven't shown you yet, that it caught on fire. Even though I could have continued driving that one because it was back on its wheels. So at some point, I get the bright idea of doing the airport jumps first. There's 4 of them. See, again, like I could have driven this, but it caught fire because of all the airport damage on the 4 jumps you haven't seen. So I decided, okay, we're going to do the 4 jumps at the airport, and then we're going to take the Infernus to the pay and spray, and then we're going to do this jump and cross my fingers that I can land on my wheels. But again, I just think it's luck. I don't have a good setup for this one. Maybe other folks do. On fire, upside down, all bad things. um, normally, all right, the good news is I'm not on fire in this clip. Normally, I don't mind that particular stunt jump. This is the first airport jump. It's supposed to be pretty straightforward. I think I probably clipped the airplane wing right here. Flip over. So credit for the jump, but then lost the Infernus. So I don't mind the unique jump that goes off of that wooden pier because typically when I'm playing the game for speed, I don't care if I happen to lose my sports vehicle. I just hop right out on that after completing that jump and getting credit for the jump, and then I'll just steal a different sports vehicle because they're quite common here on this island. Okay, and then we're back at regular speed, gang. I think that's good news. This is good news. Okay, so now rate the 9 unique jumps here on Portland. So this one here, again, of course, it's surrounded by concrete because it's at the airport. Small little run up, pretty easy to do. You can lose your Infernus or your sports car if you hit the wing of that airplane up there. 5. I'm kind of meh about that one. Okay, next one, we've got 2 in a row, and I oftentimes have trouble seeing. So there's a ramp with yellow stripes, and it's kind of blocked by that parked plane. And so then finally we get the view that we want. And if you go too far left, you can get credit for the jump, but clip any one of these parked helicopters and then lose your vehicle, which would stink for me doing this. I want to keep the same vehicle kind of idea. But even when I was speedrunning the game, and I don't care about this kind of artificial only use one vehicle for all the stunt jumps. If I lost my sports car by clipping and flipping, clipping one of those helicopters, it would be a big time save, like a minute, minute and a half time loss. You have to go run out of the airport and grab another Infernus from that parking lot. Okay, those two jumps both fine. They're both on the grass. Nothing too special, but we'll give them a bonus point for being on the grass. Sixes for both of those. Here you can see how easily the Infernus clears this hangar, whereas the Banshee 3 times in a row clipped the hangar. It really wasn't close to clearing it. Okay, so that one right there probably would get a 5, but when I speedrun this game, that is literally my last stunt jump, and so that means I'm pretty darn close to finishing my run. So we're gonna bump that one up from a 5 to a 7 because I have fond memories of that jump, um, just because it meant I was so close to the end. Okay, so I learned my lesson. Even though my my Infernus is in pretty good shape, apparently I didn't learn my lesson. I thought for sure I was going back to the paint spray. Oh my goodness, GTA failure, what are you doing? Okay, so this jump right here, if I give it a rating, it is quite lovely, lots of grass. You get to fly over a river, which is pretty awesome. That one we're going to give a 9, even though it's risky in terms of losing your furnace. 9 for that one. Okay, this one here is a grass ramp off to the left. Easy to miss the fact that that's a ramp at all, like a unique stunt jump here. This might be one of my favorite slow motion cinematics of all the stunt jumps. You got to do a big jump to clear this river. If you go too far to the right, you end up in the drink because the river is kind of wider over there. And oh, just saved it. I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried. I'm going to give that one a 10, even though I'm inconsistent with it. Sometimes I come up short, sometimes I go too far to the right. But 10 out of 10. I like it. Okay, so surely with my damaged Infernus here, I am going to lick my wounds and head over to the pain spray. And then have a fresh Infernus for the last 2 jumps. If I can make it to the pain spray. Getting clobbered here. So in terms of how I feel about the unique jumps in general, like in terms of like the whole game through, like I think they're cool. You know, you got this really nice slow motion thing. There's some pretty epic ones in Vice City, um, and uh, and then a good source of cash if you do them early. I mean, like I'm getting almost $2 million from doing these 20 jumps. That represents 200% of the money I started with before doing these jumps. Like all of the other stuff that I've done in this video series has earned me about, I think I had like 950,000 or something at the start of this video. And here we're getting another 2 million on top of that. So pretty cool. All right, the final 2 jumps that we're going to do are both starting from this area right here, which is an area involved in the mission Bait. There's also a rampage up ahead. Just we're passing it here to the right. Whoopsies. Let's try that again. Yeah, so the bait mission, which is way down the road for us, ends right here in this courtyard. So lots of stuff happening. 2 jumps, 1 mission, and a rampage. Pretty cool. Oh, and there's a hidden package there too. So lots of stuff. Okay, this one, lots of concrete. I'm inconsistent when I try to do this jump in my speed run. Like I rarely can salvage my vehicle. Like here, I save my vehicle by stopping. Oftentimes, I go flying off the end of the roof that I landed on there, and my vehicle flips, and it's a time loss. So we'll give that one a 4. I'm not a fan. Okay, I've only got 1 jump left to do, but I spent a lot of time failing, probably like an hour and a half. This whole thing took me, maybe a little more, maybe an hour 45. So I decided, even though there's only 1 jump left, and my vehicle doesn't have to survive, right? I just need to get credit for the jump, and then I can call this one done. But I decided just to go for it after getting the thing paint sprayed. Okay, here we go. Running over a police officer, no problem. 2 stars. And the final jump. And all we need to do is get credit for it. This jump is tricky too because in my 100% route, I have to not only get credit for the jump, but stay in that area that we landed in as opposed to getting flung over the ramp. And look here, I'm concerned that we're going to go in the water. My vehicle's on fire. I've got 2 stars. This is perfect. This is, again, another perfect thumbnail image. All right, I was all excited because that one is done. So I'm going to give that last one a I don't know. We're giving it a 3. I really don't like it because when I'm doing my 100%ing of this game, um, like I said, I have to land. I have to get my vehicle to stop in that little courtyard instead of flying over the ramp like I did in this video because there's a hidden package in that area. So we'll see that when I get to the hidden packages on the shore side in a future video. But here, to bring this video to conclusion, we need to make sure that we can get rid of our wanted level and then save. So I am going to use the quick save program, but not until I've cleared my wanted level. And I've got now 3 stars. Oh, it's good. It's getting beautiful. Okay, so the paint spray is just off here to my left, but we need to take a civilian vehicle. The paint spray will not accept any police vehicles, including that police car. So here we are in the Idaho, real slow, but it doesn't matter. All we need to do is clear the wanted level, and this will take care of it. So I guess that's about it in terms of unique jumps. 20 of them are done, and I think next time we will work on some more hidden packages. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.